Hello everyone, and welcome to this Yoga for Sadness and Grief. At difficult times in our lives, when we may have lost a loved one or are in the process of possibly losing a loved one, our range of emotions are immense. We go from intense sadness to anger to laughter sometimes, and then you can feel guilty because you suddenly find that you're laughing at something and you think, oh, I shouldn't be enjoying myself at this time. It's a real conflicting time. This yoga practice is all about helping the body to let go, helping the mind to let go of where we hold these emotions, these tensions within our bodies. At times of high stress, our fight and flight nervous system is on overdrive. Our yoga practice needs to balance this. We need a yin to the yang. So a restorative yoga practice focusing on opening up the areas of the body where we hold on to tension, sadness, anger is so important. You'll need either 2 pillows or 2 blocks or both, and a strap for this practice. Let's begin kneeling at the back of the mat or sitting in cross-legged, just an opportunity to come into the breath, try to settle the mind. You'll find it very difficult probably during this practice to keep the mind focused in the present moment. So this is a perfect opportunity to set the intention that during this practice we will keep our mind present on the sensations in the body and the breath. Breathing deep. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's come down onto our backs. We're starting with a hamstring stretch. You'll need your strap for this. Place the strap around the ball of the left foot. You can either keep the right knee bent with the right foot flat on the mat, or extend the right leg long, keeping your right hand on your right hip to stop it from lifting up, to remind yourself to keep it grounded. As we take slow inhales with long exhales, and on the exhales, gently extend through the left heel, which is parallel with the sky or the ceiling. As this is a restorative practice, the holds will be for a minute or 2 for each pose, so that we can really let go of tension. Hamstrings often tighten up when we're in times of stress, and if we can release our hamstrings, we can allow feelings of letting go. Has your mind wandered? If it has, bring it back to the sensations you're feeling in your left hamstring. Breathe in to where you feel the stretch the most. Gently bend into the right knee so the foot is flat on the mat again. Place the left ankle across the right knee. We're coming into reclined pigeon. So either pushing the left knee out, keeping the left foot flexed. If you can feel a stretch in the glute there, that is fine. If not, then you can bring the right shin parallel to the ceiling and either grab behind the right thigh or use a strap to pull that right thigh forward. You'll know when you've reached your edge and you can feel the sensations in that left outer hip or left glute. This is a lovely hip opener. We store so much emotion in our hips, our sacral chakra. Breathing deep here. Carefully release. Bring the right foot back down to the mat, uncross the legs, and let's switch to the other side. Place the strap around the ball of the right foot. Extend the right leg up so the right foot is parallel to the ceiling and the knee bent as generously as it needs to be. Left leg can stay bent or extend, whichever you prefer, yogi's choice. And a couple of minutes here. Deep inhale, sending the breath into the hamstring, and on the exhale, letting go of any tension and seeing if the leg over time can straighten a little more. If the leg can straighten, you can then start to pull the toes towards your forehead. Really trying to keep the mind focused on the sensations in the body. navel into the spine, bend into the left knee. Let's come into reclined pigeon on this side. Right ankle over the left knee and either pushing out the right knee, flexing the left foot, or you can bring that left shin parallel to the ceiling, both feet flexed, and either grabbing behind the thigh to pull it in closer or using a strap. Feeling that lovely stretch, this time in the right outer hip or right glute. Trying to keep the mind focused on the breath. And letting go with every exhale. Any emotion that you feel you are holding on to. Let the left foot come back down to the mat, uncross the legs, coming up. Now you've got options here. We're going to be coming into supported fish, so if you've got two lovely pillows, you can place them into the lower back and lean back on them. Or if you've got two blocks, you can position your blocks so you have one parallel to the short edge and the other one is lengthways, which will go between your shoulder blades. So you just choose whichever you want to use to get yourself situated. Your legs can either be together and long, or I personally prefer to have my legs in Supta Baddha Konasana, so the soles of the feet together and the knees dropping out to the side. So we've got a lovely heart opener here, and you can as well be having a lovely hip opener. Again, focusing on the breath, sending that breath to our heart. When we're going through times of sadness, our hearts hurt, they hold on to it. When we open up our hearts, we can ride the flow of life, its ups and downs. Can be nice to visualize a green light as you breathe in, the green light bathing your body and your soul. If your knees are apart, carefully bring them together using your hands to help. Otherwise, bend your knees so your feet are flat on the mat. Come up carefully onto the forearms, moving the blocks to one side. Another area of the body that can really hold on to worry is the spleen. So we're going to come into hero, and you can come into reclined hero as well. I'm setting myself up ready, so I'm putting the 2 cushions with a block underneath, which will be at the back of me, and I prefer to sit on a block as well. So I place the block between the soles of my feet, as it were, knees bent, sitting onto the block. This may well be enough. You'll know if your knees are talking to you already, then this is where you stay. Breathing deep here. Or you can come down with your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your toes, resting on the hands. We're here for a while, so you don't have to come all the way down straight away, but if you are ready, you can then lower your back onto your cushions. The spleen supports our body's immune system, but energetically it holds worry. And this pose is great for the spleen meridian. When we have a loved one that is ill or we are going through grief, we need to look after our own immune systems. At times of high stress, the hormones that are released deplete our immune system. So it's very important that we nourish our bodies by taking this time. Breathing deep here. If you're lying down, navel in, carefully using your arms, bring yourself back up. Come forward onto all fours, and then just move the props to one side. And it can be nice just to come back onto all fours and straighten each leg out in turn behind. Just give a quick stretch through the calf, as we've had our legs folded for a little while. Return to tabletop position. Let's come into heart to earth pose, hands to the top of the mat. Lower the forehead either directly onto the mat or onto a block. Hips stay over the knees. Lower belly slightly engaged just to protect the lumbar spine. This is great for our shoulders, which is another area where we hold on to tension. If the mind has wandered, bring it back to the breath. Find your breath again. inhale, come forward, so you lower the pelvis, temporarily come through Sphinx before rolling onto our backs. Coming into a laying spinal twist, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, lift the hips carefully over to the right slightly as you lower your knees to the left. Now your knees may go all the way to the floor, that is lovely. I have an injury in healing at the moment, so mine cannot. So I am putting them onto a block. Your arms can either be straight out to the side or for a greater stretch across the chest, bend your elbows at 90 degrees, cactus arms. The right shoulder is to stay firmly grounded on the mat. Breathing deep here, breathing into the belly. This pose is focusing on the liver. The liver is an organ that holds on to anger. Anger can clog our livers, and in times of grief or when we experience the possibility of losing someone, anger is a completely normal emotion. Sometimes it can be hard to know what to do with it and where to channel it. So with this pose, on your exhale, if you're feeling any anger, let it go. All emotions, happy ones, sad ones, angry ones, there's no such thing as a wrong emotion, as long as we can let the emotion come through us and out of us. It's when we get stuck holding on to an emotion that it can cause us physical and mental health problems. On your next exhale, navel into the spine. Inhale, bring the right leg up, followed by the left. Shimmy your hips, lift them over so they're just slightly to the left of the mat. Ready to lower your knees either to the floor or to the cushion or a block to the right. Arms, again, either straight out to the side or cactus arms. Can also be really nice to put a block between your knees. You'll find what works for you, what's comfortable. And once you're settled, come back to the breath. On your next exhale, navel into the spine. Inhale, left knee up, right knee. Recenter your hips carefully. Extend your legs long, as wide as the mat, and you can either pop a cushion under your knees or the blocks under your knees to make it truly restorative. Let your feet be as wide as the mat, flopping out to the side, arms out to the sides, palms up. Shavasana. Let your breath be natural here. Don't need to control the breath in any way. Just notice the breath. Stay here for as long as time allows and as long as you feel you want to be here. This is where I shall leave you today. There shall not be any outro music. Try and tune into any physical sensations as well as emotional sensations. And if any emotions want to come out, let them come out. And equally, there may not be anything. You could hopefully just be feeling peaceful and calm. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.